Hello, Lisa Marie Godfrey.
Hi, Kylie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. This is going to be an interesting one. I tell you why. Well, considering last night you came to our bash, you did, and I had a couple of cheeky drinks, shall we say, and considering what the business is non-intoxicated. Interesting. Did you enjoy yourself anyway last night?
Oh, I had a fab time. I didn't think I'd be able to come, and I just decided at the last minute I can't miss it. I can't miss it. I saw all the build up in the group. I thought I need to be there.
Bless you. Where did you drive from?
Thorn, near Doncaster, South Yorkshire. So it's a couple of hours.
Oh my God, why did I not know this? I knew you were like south of us, but I didn't realise you were that far.
I know. Well, we were talking last night about imposter syndrome, and I felt like a bit of an imposter. I felt like a southerner there last night.
This is a point though, because and I talk about ideal client all the time, and I know you're going to introduce yourself in a bit, but we're going off on a tangent. I talk about ideal client all the time, and the biggest connection you can make with your ideal clients, and mine's Northern Lasses, the more it has a ripple effect, doesn't it? And that's just testament to the fact that people came. You came. Yeah. I wish I'd known. I shouted you out on the stage. People came from Sheffield. Alexa came from South
Portsmouth. Oh. You always get it
wrong. So yeah, it was just fantastic to see so many people coming, and it just shows you what our community's doing and giving you a platform like this to come and tell your story.
Yeah, definitely.
So Lisa, tell everyone, because I can't wait. I think you've achieved huge, like what you've achieved in your business is fantastic. Your Facebook group, the app we'll talk about, and I really want to pick your brains so that our lasses, our audience, gets all of the juiciness that's going on. So tell everyone what you're all about, what you do. Tell us.
Well, just to give a bit of background, I think I've always had an affinity with food and drink. I decided to do a food science degree back in the day, and then went to work in the food manufacturing industry in food safety, quality, technical, things like that. So my job was, the little raviolis that you get, I'd be peeling off the pasta and measuring the meat and working out the ratios and things.
Why do you think you had that draw towards food and drink industry?
I don't know. I mean, I'm from Lincolnshire, so we were surrounded by crops, everything, the whole seasonality of food was a big thing. We go strawberry picking with mum. On a Sunday evening, me and my brother and sister would take it in turns to cook, have a sort of a baking day and make little. Do you remember those little B-row cooking books? Those little thin ones. Yeah, we used to be making melting moments and scones and things. So I'm not much of a cook or a baker now, but I sort of grew up around food and just always felt, I don't know, drawn to it. Not from the cooking side though. It was understanding about the technology of it, which is why I did the food science side.
Excellent.
So I had a few years working in the food manufacturing industry, quality checking, things like that. Moved to work for a big retailer for the co-op, sort of doing all their packaging and labels and product legality and things like that. And then moved into recruitment from that, which was a bit of a weird move.
Oh yes.
Well, I'd recruited a big team, about 12 people in the space of a year, to work at head office, and I thought, you know what, I really love the interview process, but the agencies that I'm dealing with just don't get it. They're sending me rubbish. They don't understand what I need. So that's when we set up the recruitment agency, and that was specifically for food and drink as well. So recruiting quality technical people, things like that. And
the name of
yes, so that's Jarvis Johnson. That's still running, and we still recruit for those specialists for technical and quality roles all around the country. But hit a bit of I set that up with my late husband, and unfortunately in 2004 he passed away suddenly, and I was then really left with sort of imposter syndrome, because it didn't feel like my business. It had always been our business. I was suddenly left not even knowing how to access the company bank accounts, having to deal with the accountant, having no idea. I think just after he died in the September, in the January, I had a tax bill of 20,000 to pay, which I had no idea that I needed to pay it. So it was a really difficult period, and that business is still running. And I think now it does finally feel like it's mine. But it took a long time to get there. Mm-hmm. And I think sort of part of what happened with that business has helped me sort of in the new business that I've set up. So during lockdown, sort of fast forwarding a little bit, but during lockdown a couple of years ago, the recruitment business just plummeted. Nobody was recruiting. A lot of the companies we supply people to were supplying the restaurant sector. McDonald's and things like that just closed overnight. So all their suppliers, didn't need people. And what happened then was, I don't know if you remember, but it was really sunny, weather was fantastic. We were furloughed, not doing any recruitment, and me and my husband would just sit in the garden having a glass of wine.
Me too. Yeah.
And it went from having a glass of wine every night, 2 glasses of wine every night. Before I knew it, most nights I was getting through the best part of a bottle of wine. So I joined an online group. Annie Grace runs a thing called This Naked Mind, and she was running a program for people who wanted to, not people who consider themselves addicts, but people who want to realign their relationship with alcohol, really. And I just really look forward to, it's 5-6 o'clock, I can have my glass of wine now. And I like the ritual of the glass, the nice glass, pouring a drink. It felt like a break between work and relaxing. So I did this program, and I started to think, I was really missing that routine and that ritual. So I started going up to Sainsbury's and buying the odd alcohol-free drink, and soon worked my way through everything that appealed to me there. I started looking online and started ordering a few drinks and things online, but I didn't really know. If you're spending 20 quid on a bottle of spirit that's got no alcohol in it, you want to know it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So I had a look around and see if there were any Facebook groups out there, and there were a few, but dedicated to the alcohol-free drink side, but a lot of them were very beer focused or very American focused. So there's a lot of American drinks being reviewed there. So I just thought, right, I'm going to set my own group up then. I'm going to have a Facebook group, talk about the drinks I've tried that I like, and ask other people to comment in terms of what drinks they've tried, give me a better understanding of what I should try myself. Mm-hmm. So that's where Non-Toxicated came from.
Toxicated. We'll go into detail about your phenomenal group in the interview, but I think something that I want. Are you teetotal now then?
No, not 100%. I've done long periods. So I did 100 days when I was on the Annie Grace program. I did, I've done dry January, sober October. But my drinking's much more under control now. I don't feel that it's the drink that's calling to me. It's something that I'll have as a special occasion. But most of the time during the week, I'll drink the non-alcoholic drinks. I don't like an alky. If anyone's watching this on video, I'm lined up. There's always bottles around my office. But they're always alcohol-free ones waiting for me to try them.
What was funny last night, or interesting, shall I say? So you brought this fantastic hamper. Honestly, thank you for your raffle. So everyone, we had a raffle, and my mum won.
I know.
And she came over because my mum, she's trying to cut down how much alcohol she's taking. She's not a big drinker, right? She's just she just feels more healthy if she's not.
Yeah.
But she's going for alternatives, and she instantly thought it was all alcohol, and she went, "Oh, well, Mum, it's alcohol free." You should have seen a thing like that. So I've actually made a note. I don't know if you spoke to her or not. She needs to get your app, because she's always looking for something alternative. And I think we've spoke about this before, where there's just not, I went out to a wedding, a hen do, and I'd taken the decision to stop, because I go through bouts of cutting out the alcohol, I'm going to tell you about this in a minute as well. I went into some of the pubs. I went, oh, what have you got non-alcoholic? I'm really surprised that you can't get like non-alcoholic.
Well, they can. They just choose
not
to. The venue last night actually had Heineken Zero.
Did it?
No, and it's only a little place, isn't it? So
wow, I'm surprised with that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was
that. And I paid £4 for a Heineken Zero in Newcastle the other week.
Wow.
And I went, it makes people go, well, I might as well have an alcoholic drink. But going back to what I was going to say, I can totally resonate. Going through lockdown, mine and my husband's drinking got, I would say, out control. And I think it's because, well, not I think, I know it's because I have a very addictive personality. And that's with everything. And it's kind of something that, but people who've got addictive personalities, I'm sure you know, can switch from one thing to another, can't they? So this is why I get into the gym. This is why I'm get right into me workload. But I do have to go through bouts of where I go, right, that's it. I can't. I'm one of these people. I don't drink during the week. So I'm one of these people who it's all or nothing. Yeah. Yeah. I can't, like, I'd love to know how you've managed to control that from going from like it being a bottle a night. Yeah. Now you can just control it.
Take it or leave it. Yeah. I think a lot of it, as you say, it's the addictive side. Quite often, a lot of it is to do with routine and with this feeling that you need to treat yourself, and it's a relaxation thing. So for me, replacing it with something that's still really tasty and refreshing. Some of them have even got mood enhancing properties in them. There's some that give you a buzz. There's ones that calm you down. Now they're not the sort of drinks I'd recommend if people have had a serious addiction problem. But for somebody that's looking for, to keep that sort of ritual and routine, then it's just really helped me. So if I think now, if I've had a bad day and I think, God, I could do with a drink, and I do still think that sometimes, I'll open a bottle of sparkling alcohol-free Prosecco. I'll have that, and and often I'll say to myself, if I still want one after I've had that, I'll have one. Yeah. But often you don't. You just think.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's going to relax you, but actually just the sort of sitting away from the office and having a drink, calming down, that's
so when I'm going through a couple of weeks where I'm going, right, I need to sort this out, and it's normally after a weekend where I've been out and it's been a Friday night and I've went through 2-3 bottles of whatever, just no off switch at all. I normally get some zero beer in. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. If I feel like, because it seems to be like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all at the witching hour, and I'm like, oh, I could do with just a glass of wine, but I know one would turn into a bottle, so I'll go and get one of those, and that's been enough.
Well, I know you talk a lot about ideal client, and I think people in our situation that work very hard, maybe run their own businesses, they're managing kids and family and businesses, and you never quite switch off. I think we are the type of women that will turn to alcohol as a release, and it doesn't help us because you want to get up in the morning fresh and ready to go. You don't want to get up, I'm not talking about with a hangover, but just that slightly fuzzy feeling.
A game, don't you? And I think entrepreneurs as well, Lisa, it's huge with entrepreneurs.
So many don't drink.
I think a lot of them have an addictive personality, so it could go.
Well, but some of the some very, very successful people just don't drink at all, but they don't make a big thing of it. But to be on their A game, I don't think it can be on your A game after a night of alcohol.
So as well, the placebo effect, right? I get it. So
I thought you were going to say placenta. I was like, what?
A couple of my friends just don't drink at all, right? Hats off to them. Wish I could do it. And they won't go near non-alcoholic beer. And you just touched on it there. And I did a bit of research before this, and it said like it can be like a trigger. I think it's interesting, isn't it, how it can give like a euphoric recall, or what do they say? It's like don't you don't want them to remember or it makes you not remember the negative consequences of.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us about the types of products that you have. Like, do you have mocktails and all of that kind of thing? Like, is it everything?
Yeah.
Where do you get them from?
Well, it's an interesting thing. So we don't make any of our own drinks.
Right.
But we'll talk in a bit about sort of the community that I've built up. But once we'd got this community in place, we started then being approached by the drinks companies and saying, I've got this new drink, I'd like to introduce it to some people. So the whole direction of the group has probably changed from what I'd originally envisaged. So yeah, it's really everything. Probably the biggest area for us, because it's a bigger purchase, is alcohol-free spirits. So there are pink gins, there's raspberry gins, there's vodka, there's vanilla vodka, chocolate vodka, types of whiskies, rums, all alcohol free. Now, if you go into your local supermarket, you're probably not going to see this. You'll probably just see beer, cider, the odd wine. There is a bit of a problem with wine. A lot of the wine is not nice, and if your experience of wine is trying a red wine and expecting it to have that mouthfeel and heaviness of an alcoholic red wine, you're going to be disappointed. But the spirits, especially, a lot of them have the botanicals in, really after that first one, you mix it with a good quality tonic and you don't know, you just don't notice that you're not drinking alcohol anymore.
I've never tasted a spirit, never.
Oh, there's a couple in your mum's basket, so
yes, all around. Okay, then we'll talk to us about this amazing Facebook group,
the community. So I set the group up. I knew Sober October was coming in 2020. I thought I'm doing Sober October myself. I'd been alcohol free for quite a long time then, continuously. So I thought I'm going to set this Facebook group up. So 1st of October I set it up, and by the 24th of November I'd got 1,000 members, which was like, wow, how has that happened? And they were just, when I mentioned the concept to my husband, I was to be honest, I was expecting him to poo-poo it, and I said, you can't run this alongside your recruitment business. And he said, I think you've just hit a moment where this is about to explode, the alcohol-free movement, and I think people have been like us, they've drunk too much, and they want to, they don't want to be teetotal, and words like teetotal and sober can be very, it can make you think it's something really boring. And that's really what I wanted the group to be. It was focused on something really positive, something really fun, rather than you depriving yourself of something. So I set the Facebook group up, and I probably did all the things that you're not supposed to do in the early days.
What did you go into it, Lisa, thinking like you had a plan of attack with that group? Did you know what you were going to set that group up for?
My initial thing, I knew that I wanted to launch the app, which didn't come until the February, but I knew I wanted to launch the app. But I thought, well, I need to build a community that will want to use the app. So that was my idea. It's kind of gone, although we've achieved that, it's gone in a completely different direction. But building up the community, I mean, you've done it. You've built a fantastic community yourself. And one of the things I did when I first set up the group was, I was like a bull in a china shop in a really bad way. So I'd go into other people's groups. I'd be so excited. I'd be like, come to my group, come to my. And I took a massive knock in confidence because I kept getting chucked out.
Who's this coming in here?
And you can imagine now I've got my own group. You think, God, this person sort of built this group of thousands, and then this nobody comes in. It's like, I want to take all your members, but once I got over that initial over enthusiastic, I thought what I really need to do is start trying to connect with these people and actually have a conversation without thinking about I need to get them into my group and I need to use every opportunity to promote my group. So it was much more about, I'll go into these alcohol-free spaces, start talking about what I've tried, and before you know it, people then start asking for what would you recommend for a sparkling wine, what about a cider, what about this, what about that, and then it's a lot easier to say, well, because a lot of these groups were not focused on drinks, they were maybe people, healthy lifestyle groups, or groups of people who are looking for a sober lifestyle, but not all of the people in the group would want to try alcohol-free drinks. I just get involved in those discussions which were sort of pro these types of drinks, and I managed to sort of start attracting the audience to me, you know, so people would look at who I was, and then they'd see in my Facebook profile that, you know, I was the founder of Non-Toxicated, and people just started coming
in their
towards
thousands.
us. In the thousands.
You've got 6,500 you've got in there.
Yeah, just hit that last week.
When we talked, I think you were 2,000-ish when you had your one-to-one, which seemed like how long ago? And I think it's amazing how more settled you are, because you've seen how people think that this happens overnight, and it doesn't. It doesn't, unless like something unreal happens, like which kind of happened to you with Lucy Spraggan, which we'll get on to. Like unless you get shared by a celebrity or something like that, it doesn't happen like that, and there's no longevity in that either. And you've done the right thing. You've gone through all of the questions that I went through. You've gone through all of the, oh God, am I doing this right? The constantly question yourself, imposter syndrome. Oh, I'm going to throw the towel in. You went through everything. Yeah. But then as soon as you went, I just needed to speak to me people.
Yeah.
It's gone up and up and up. So I looked online, and there's like 20% of adults in the UK at the minute don't drink alcohol.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
It's going up, isn't it? It's definitely changing. So you're going to have an audience no matter what. How do you tap into your audience? Because you've kind of touched on your ideal client. Who are the active people in there? Who are there? Who would you say?
I mean, if I look at the sort of the very active members in my group, the ones that like to on a Friday night will sometimes say, "What's in your glass tonight?" And we'll all I get one of my pretty glasses out. And the people that get engaged and responding are often women in their 40s with children that, you know, have a little bit of disposable income, you know, that they're not sort of just able to look at the sort of the budget end of things. and enjoyed their alcohol before, not people who had a massive problem with alcohol before, but sort of did enjoy it. They're not everybody is completely sober. There's a lot of mindful drinkers that just sort of reduce their are looking to reduce the amount of alcohol and replace a few drinks a week with an alcohol-free version. And even just a few a week can make a big difference between, you know, what's an acceptable and what's an unhealthy amount of alcohol to drink. So I need to do a lot more on Ideal Client now. You know, I need to look at the modules in the Next Level Lounge.
Get that in there.
Put that in there. Product placement.
So you mentioned earlier about companies have started coming to you now.
Yeah.
Talk me through that and how that's going for you.
So that's this isn't really where we set out to be, but once we'd built a big audience.
When this happens, or when the direction change.
I know. So we, as you say, we've got 6,500 in our Facebook group, 3,200 on Instagram. I think we've got a mailing list now, which actually the email is an interesting thing, because, you know, people say email's dying, but sort of building a good email list, I think we've got 1,800 or so on there now. Suddenly, when we were talking to drinks brands would start to join the group, and then they'd say, "Can I send you some of my drinks to try?" And you know, we'd try some of them and do videos on some of them, and then we thought, well, let's formalize it a bit. So we turned it more into a partnership thing, and if they want us to, they can offer a discount code in the group. They can go out in the newsletter with, you know, that they can supply us with a piece of news, and they can pay a monthly sort of partnership amount to be in the group and be able to contribute. So that was never an income stream that I'd even thought about, really.
And are they a part of the app then? Is that what?
Yeah, so they can list their drinks on the app as well. So yeah, the app, you know, as I say, we don't sell any of the drinks on the app, but the app links through to either direct drinks partners or to some of them to Amazon. Some we've got sort of arrangements with about 3 of the big online alcohol-free drinks distributors.
Yeah.
So people can sort of buy it through the app, and then it takes them through to their sites, and we get a small percentage of things that are sold through the app.
It's phenomenal what you've done with the app. Like, you're the first person I've spoken to on here who has an app.
Oh,
so
I'm excited.
And I don't know why, right? I've always thought I'm going to get an app, me. So what might happen in the future, right? But how do you even start to go about getting an app? What do you do?
Well, obviously I didn't write it. I didn't sit and code it. But
no, but the thing is, like, how much technology do you get?
No, well, it was quite lucky actually. But before lockdown, I had an office in Doncaster where my recruitment team were based, and a guy in the next office to me was a web developer. And when I had this idea about the app, I spoke to him and I said, Ian, what would be involved? And he said, well, I develop apps. What? You develop apps? So I spoke to him. I did actually sort of go and sound out another couple of companies as well to see, if the costs that he was suggesting were right. And really it was just all about how do you want it structured? Because it's quite different to a website.
Yeah.
How do you want it structured? How do you want it to look? And, and then once that's developed, it's just sort of uploading all the products, getting them into a data format that you can upload. But it was a lot of focus. I think I wanted to launch it for the December, having only started the group in October, and I think we launched it I know we launched it in February, because this brings me on to the Lucy Spraggan thing. The week of our app launch. I'll talk about this now, shall I? But the week.
Go for it.
Oh, it was so exciting. So I'd noticed we were planning our app launch for 24th of February, and I'd become aware of Lucy Spraggan. I don't know if people remember Lucy, but she was in the X Factor. She's the northern lass, very down to earth, and she just the year before released a song called Sober, which was very, very popular within the alcohol-free community. But she's just such a down-to-earth girl, and she'd lost a load of weight and got really fit, and she was posting loads of really body positive stuff. And her new album Choices, was being launched the same week as our app. So me and my business partner Leanne, who I work with, we thought, right, we need to try and tap into this. So I thought, I want to try and send her some drinks and see if she'll give us a plug. She'd often, somebody sent us some brownies, she'd share it, and she's sort of got a huge Instagram following. So we pulled together this hamper, and I messaged her and said, could I possibly have your address to send something to you? And I thought, she'll never respond. She didn't the first time, and I sent something again. I'd like to send you something to celebrate your launch. Anyway, I got an address, which I assume would just be her, management address or something like that. But rather than just send the drinks, we thought we're going to put some effort into this. So we went through her playlist and we themed a drink to every song in the playlist. So so there'd be the song name and there'd be the drink to match, and we did it all in her album colours and themed it to the album, and then we put the set list in there and all these drinks, wrapped it up beautifully. And I thought, you know what, I can't send this by courier, because there's there's too much likelihood to have it look nice. I couldn't package it, so I thought, I'm going to drive up there myself. So I got in the car, and she was living in Cheshire at the time, so I got in the car on the day of her album launch, or the day before, I think it's the night before her album launch. Drove over there, got there, there's nobody there, and I'm like, this is, but there was a little sign on the door saying, please leave any packages here. And anyway, so I did. I just left the package outside the door, driving back over the M62, feeling really gutted, because I thought it would have been so nice to say hello. And Leanne rang me. She went, oh my God, Lisa, it's blowing up over social media. And I said, what do you mean? Dad, she's done a reel about you. And I said, what do you mean? Anyway, she literally the whole evening, she was crying. She was saying, I can't believe Non-Toxicated have done this for me. I've made this album in lockdown, and I feel that people, it's such an isolating thing, and to know that people care and have thought about it. And she kept showing the drinks, and we'd done a little thing saying download our app. So she was going, and this is the app, and this is not intoxicated. You need to go follow them now. And she literally did on her story. She must have done 5 or 6 little segments about us during the day. And our Instagram following, I think it was at 1,100, and in 24 hours it was at over 2,000. We added over 1,000 Instagram followers in 24 hours.
And what did that, I mean, phenomenal. What did that do in terms of demand for you, Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. People would then want to join the group.
Yeah.
You know, some brands were saying, oh God, you know, I wish we'd been in the hamper, you know, what else are you doing? So it was fantastic. And we nearly didn't do it. We probably spent 100 quid on drinks or something. You know, they weren't all drinks that were free for us. One of the things that didn't go quite so well is we also had a massive cheesecake made, and it turned out that she can't eat dairy. we'll gloss over that bit. But I think sometimes if you have an idea, just go for it. I know you know with you and Sarah Davies, and
well, this is it.
having a chance to get in front of her and just sort of try and maximize it. I think you went armed with a load of swag, didn't you, when you went to meet?
Vision board. I mean, I'm still holding out for it. I just want that to come and look at what's happening here with the Northern Lass Lounge, and for that speak at an event would be brilliant. But it just shows you that if you do put the effort in, and it's not just a case of, oh, I'm going to send something to a celebrity, which people do all the time, and they get frustrated, don't they? And they must get inundated with stuff, but you've done it perfectly there, haven't you? And the effort that you've put in as well, and the whole album coming out, it's like, oh wait, it's a dream, isn't it? It's a dream.
I still haven't met her though. I had a couple of gigs booked and couldn't go because of COVID, so
you need to do that.
It's got to be done on a next tour, definitely.
Class. So before we start the interview, I had a look at when you joined the lounge.
Yeah,
which was a year ago.
Do you know? I thought she's going to ask me. I think it's about a year ago.
Was a year.
Yeah. Because I think I remember just after I joined, you were having your summer get together in the garden. Was that last summer?
Oh God, that was the one before.
In the community.
Yeah, because it was right when they were starting to let us back out again.
Yeah.
So was that? It must have been last year. Yeah. And yeah, I always say this, Lisa, when you know you can be as active as you want in the lounge. There's no pressure. There's no like some people use it and they sit in the background. I've just been interviewing Rochelle, who was speaking last night, and she like it's just amazing because she's not active at all, but she said, and I'm hoping people listening to this type of thing, she said, like, I see everything that happens. Everything.
Yes.
I mean, she comments, right? And I'm sure you're like that as well, because you came up. So and the reason I'm asking this is, like, what do you use it for? What do you get out of the lounge?
One of the main things for me is I find if I start my week watching your live, I have a good week, and I don't.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God, the world.
No, seriously. I mean, I do my recruitment work on a Monday, so I'm have to be pretty focused. But but as I'm clearing my inbox, I'll have you sitting there, and it'll just set me up right for the week. I don't know, your positivity, and I don't know. I always look at you and I think there's a woman like me who's juggling multiple businesses, family, everything else, and she keeps buzzing and she keeps going, and it really, that always sets me up well for the week, watching your lives. But the group is what I really like about the group is I just find that everyone in there is so giving. Other groups that I've been in, you just feel like people, if they've got a little nugget, they don't want to share it because they're scared of I don't know what of, competition or whatever, but but I know if I've got a technical question or a bit of help, if I put a question in there, somebody in there, you won't always have the answer, but there'll be somebody in there that can help, and people want to help. So I'll use it. And the other thing is, if I come across something new, I think, oh, I'll tell the lounge about this.
And I'm like, people post stuff all the time. I'm like, I didn't know that. And if I don't know the answer, you know me, I'll go, no, I don't know.
Well, when I set up, although I'd run a business for 20 odd years with Jarvis Johnson, that was a very traditional, it was the telephone.
Yeah.
We'd be talking to people on the phone, it would all be on a database. So I've got no problems interacting with people like face to face on the phone, but social media, really, I'd used it personally, but I'd never been on Instagram. I'd never used Canva. Well, I certainly had never developed an app. I'd never done anything like that before. So it was a massive learning curve. And I'll be honest, you know, I've invested in some crap over the last few years, you know, trying to get up to speed with social media, and you'll pay for a one-off course that costs you 99 quid or 150 quid, and you come out of it and you think, I can't implement any of that, you know. And in the lounge, you've got so much knowledge, you give so much great free training, but then, you know, the added benefit now of having the next level lounges, it's all there when I'm ready to use it.
Yeah.
Because if you join up with a course and then something sort of hits you, and you can't complete that course, you've completely wasted your money. But because you're paying a monthly, very reasonable fee for it, 20 quid a month, I think, something. You know, it's there when you need it. I need to go through all of Miriam's branding stuff. That's my next.
Oh, you love it. I mean, look at the branding last night.
Branding was mint.
I know, and she's just little Miriam doing her thing, and she's like, oh, it's just me doing my thing. I think that's a lot about why people love the lounges. Like me and my team, we're not trying to be anything that we don't want to be. We just want to help people.
And I think the way you've surrounded yourself with experts and people that are specialists in their field is brilliant, because you know, as a one person, you can't do it all. If I didn't have Leanne helping me with Non-Toxicated, you know, she produces the newsletter, you know, she talks to the brands on a regular basis. You know, I can't do it all. And I think if you can get to the stage where you can collaborate with people and get a team around you, it makes a big difference.
Oh, huge difference. And I wasn't joking when I said you're all my workmates.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling a bit like, oh God, a bit overwhelmed or a bit anxious, and that's probably why I share like all these. I'm like, I can't hold my own water for a start. I need to go and tell them this, and people are like, whoa, and it's just tiny little snippets that people wouldn't even know, isn't it? Things about like I did a reel the other day on how to do a hands-free story.
Oh.
So you can put your phone down and actually do this on a story. People were like, I had no clue you could do that. I went, neither did I.
Well, when we did the was it the Mex and Mates challenge? Like, I can't even say it. This is where I feel like an imposter, because I can't. And if I say lasses, it sounds ridiculous coming out. Max and Mates. But we did that, and literally the first day I picked up the thing that on stories you can change the background color, and I was like, I didn't know that, and I use that every day now, and every time I do it I think, oh my God, you know, it was worth it just for that one little tip. And that's what it is. Sometimes you just pick something up that makes your life so much easier.
Oh God, yes. Go on.
No, I was going to say what you said about workmates last night. I think I saw you. I think I was about the first one in the room last night, and I said it feels weird, and the reason it feels weird is because you feel like you know everybody, but you've never actually met them. You're like, so you want to go up to everyone and give them big hugs and say, I love what you do, but they may not even know who you are. So it was great to actually press some flesh last night and meet people.
It is, and it does make a huge difference, because this is one of the things I get nervous about, is not knowing, because I feel like I should know who everybody is and what business they've got, and I have to go, and I got really, it makes us uncomfortable to the point where I'm like, ugh. So I'd make it a point of trying to speak to as much. This is why I love the podcast now as well, because I get to talk to you and get to know. Once your story's in my head, I'm like, I know who you are. And there was a few lasses last night, and God love them. I was like, oh, I'm not sure who, because she's all that big. right? Because we're all a tiny little circle on me on the screen, and this is why I want to get out and meet people as much as possible.
So next time, I think we're only big A4 badges with our company names, usernames.
But I think people just accept it, don't they? That they go, well, it doesn't matter. She doesn't know who everybody is. I'm going to pick your brains a little bit here, because you mentioned you've got an email list.
Yeah.
This is something that we're going to grow now. And we're hoping to share some snippets with it in the future. Like Amy Martin's the tech. It's just phenomenal. She's completely like switched around our business career direction. It's just brilliant. And she was like, right, email lists. I'm telling you, email marketing is the way to go. So I've been writing a juicy email list for the past. And I tell you what, it's took some thinking. It has. You really have to like tap into your ideal client again and make sure you're talking the talk. And do you like have a lead magnet that's attached to you?
No. You don't need to pick my. No, we don't.
You said newsletter. Yeah, you've got a
so I think ours works the other way. Rather than we don't really use our email to bring people into the group, but once people are in our community, we use our newsletter to stay in contact with them and keep them engaging, because it can be quite easy. You know what Facebook's like. If you don't interact for a few days, you don't start seeing anything that's being shared, do you? So at least with our monthly newsletter, we know that, unless it starts going to spam, that people are getting something from us every month. So we've it's taken a while. I think we've probably been doing ours for about a year now. We've got a bit of a format going with it. So we've got discount codes, we've got new drinks that have been launched, boxes that we've opened, sober events we know about. So we've got a bit of a format for it now, and news and but it's a lot. I'll be honest with you, it probably takes us 2 days a month to pull that together, which is a lot.
It's like when we launch anything new, or we upload some new training content to the lounge suite, like Amy pulls all of that together. She's just done our monthly one, and it's a good chunk of work, isn't it? But I do really believe that email marketing is the way forward. Like I do, because you've got constant customers there. Like you don't have to go fishing about on social media, do you?
Well, we make it optional when people join the group whether they leave their email address or not. But
top tip, people. Because we do it as well. Top tip.
And then we found this brilliant little tool called Group Collector that basically takes them all and puts them in a spreadsheet for you, because Facebook's like, you have to do a screenshot and then retype it. So that was great. So they now get all collected automatically, put into a spreadsheet when people join. And and we take it from there. And then before we launch each newsletter, we say, we've got newsletters coming out. If you're not signed up to our list, make sure you are. And we put that on Facebook and Instagram. And then, we always get a little flurry of people that are in the group but haven't actually sent us their email addresses and built it that way. So probably, I don't know what the industry standard is, but we've probably got about a third we've got email addresses for. And I was having a chat with Claire Owen, the Soberholic.
Claire,
Claire actually introduced me to the Northern Lass Lounge.
Did you?
You did? Referral bonus. But I've never met her again. I've been in her group, she's in my group, but she was saying, I'm thinking of, I'm not going to let people in. It's going to be an email address. Whoa, I don't know. I'm sort of mixed about. Not everybody wants to have things on email, but
see, I'm the same, right? So I get emails from people like, oh God, she'll kill it. She knows anyway, right? Alexa, me publisher. I'm on an email list, and she's like, "Oh, have you not read my email?" I went, "No, Alexa, I just delete them." Right? I do, because I skim read. Remember when I was talking about the dominance personality? I skim read everything, and unless it says this is what I am telling you, skim read, why I found I've never thought about email marketing as a thing to do. But when Amy was telling us about, she went, think about it. Some people hate social media, and you've constantly got them there to be able to send them stuff. And it's nice to keep them in contact. You know, when people like dip out of social media, they might not be active.
Yeah.
It's a nice way just to keep in contact, isn't it?
Particularly in the sort of field I'm in, we have very busy periods, which are January and October, dry January, sober October. So you'll get an influx of people into the group, and they'll be very active, and then nothing. So it's a good way, even just a monthly newsletter, of kind of reminding them that you're there. And not everybody's going to want to use the group all the time.
Email marketing, people.
I know, but I understand about lead magnets and all that sort of thing, and that is something that something to look at. But is email the way forward? I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. I just think it is. That's my
It's another way of sneaking into people's phone or desktop.
You've got an app, so you can show off all you want.
But you don't know who's downloading the app. That's the thing. You've got no idea.
This is interesting. You don't know.
No. You know how many downloads you've had, but you don't know who. You can't see who has your app. You can have it. I mean, and it's something to look at for the future. You can have it so that you need to sign up to the app. But the advice we had when we first launched it can be a barrier to people downloading it. It's like, oh, I've got to give them all my details, blah, blah, blah. So we launched it so that anyone can download it. They don't have to give any personal data, but it then limits the analysis that you can do in terms of who's buying what and things like that.
And what's the name of your app for people to go and download?
So it's just called Non-Toxicated. Non-toxicated. It's not non-intoxicated, which some people like to call us, but non-toxicated. Yeah, we've got over 1,000 different drinks on there. And even if you're not interested in alcohol-free drinks, there's tonics, there's fancy glasses, there's all sorts of sort of premium grown-up soft drinks, because everybody has times where they can't drink, if they're driving or pregnant, or
Yeah. Have you heard of these CBD drinks?
Oh yeah.
Are they on there?
Yeah, good.
My mum been after some. I'm gonna have a look at that later.
Yeah.
What's the crack with them?
So they don't have the active, what do they call it? The active ingredient that makes you woo, but it's got enough CBD in it to give you that sort of relaxed feel. It's not going to make you feel high.
I need to get on this.
Yeah.
However, it's the relaxing, because that's sometimes the thing that you need, isn't it? It's like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing to look out for that is something called ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen,
Right.
and that reacts with your body. And if your body needs reacting, the ashwagandha will relax it for you. It's a type of a herb, really. And we've got tequila with it in. We've got sparkling wine with it in.
I'm getting on this app. I will. So yes. A little bit of your personal background, right? Okay, because I've read some interesting things here when you.
Oh God, what you been reading?
Tell me about burlesque, will you?
Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, I don't like exercise. I got married about 4 years ago, and I really I had a personal trainer, and I hammered the gym for like 18 months before the wedding. And every morning when I got up, I hated it. You know, people say, oh, you start to love exercise when you do it regularly. Well, I never did. And my sister's a fitness instructor and runs fitness classes, but that gene bypassed me. But I decided I needed to do something, because I just sit at a desk all day. So I looked around. So now I do a Pilates on a Monday, and I found this exercise burlesque class.
Oh my God.
So we do a bit of burlesque dancing. It's joggers and stuff.
I was going to say, what do you wear?
Well, our instructor wears fishnets and hot pants, and I must admit, I think I've worn fishnets twice with shorts over the top. But I had to take my daughter one week because I didn't have a babysitter, and she sat there. She went, "Mummy, you were twerking." Do not mention any of this. She said, "You're doing the booby dance." And oh, there we go. I'll do a bit of product, non-toxicated there.
Product placement.
Product placement. Yeah, so it's just a bit of fun really, but it's mainly chair dancing. So we're flinging ourselves over the back of the chair and legs over the top, and a bit of a shimmy here and shimmy there.
Love outline.
But they're doing, our group are doing their first show in August. And
you do shows?
Well, just to friends and family. I'm unsure yet about the turquoise sequin miniskirt.
Get it done, Lisa. Get it done. And you've also said that you go to rock choir.
Oh gosh, yeah. I've done rock choir for about 4 years, and I've always had quite a demanding job. Before I had the kids, I had to have something to do for me, and before I had the kids, it was Toastmasters and public speaking. And then after I'd had the kids, I've got 9-year-old twins. For some reason, the speaking wasn't as important, but I got back into singing, and I go to a fantastic group in Selby. We've got a leader called Steve, who's just hilarious, and it's a bunch of 40, 50 in my group. We go along, we just learn songs. You don't need to be able to read music or anything like that, and you go along to the rehearsal each week, and then most weekends there's a gig, and you can choose to go along or not, as you wish, if you're prepared to put the effort in. And it's so uplifting. And there's so many Wednesday nights where I think, I have a busy day on a Wednesday, I have all my team here, and I think I can't go tonight, I'm too tired. It's a 40-minute drive. Every week I come out and I've done something for me, I'm uplifted. My husband goes mad because I come home and I can never sleep till about 1 a.m, because I'm just like, wow, that was great. We do a bit of dancing. And I'm actually we had to put our names forward to perform at it's gone completely out of my name, the big hall beginning with H.
Where at?
I want to say Howden Hall, but it's not, it's gone out of my head. Anyway, there's a big event and 60 people going to be on stage.
Hardwick Hall.
Hardwick? No, it's more Yorkshire than you.
I don't know.
So anyway, I've been picked to be in it, so I'm going to be on the stage.
Yes. See, stuff like this you need to share with us, man.
Party in the park. I know, and this is what you're really good at, is dropping snippets of you into your group and everything. And we had this in my one-to-one. I'm really nervous of doing it. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think people are going to be interested.
Of course they will. I swear, if you drop that in, it'll go berserk. I will. What's your favourite rock song to sing?
Oh, well, they're not all rock. But I think, what would my favourite be? At the minute we're doing Donna Lewis, I Love You Always Forever. You know that one?
Yeah.
I love you always forever.
See, we should be on telly or something.
Yeah, Mary's Prayer is lovely. I love doing that one. A bit of Erasure. We do a lot of Jess Glynn songs actually, which I really love. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, I love it. So now I've asked a couple of questions. It's that time of the podcast where it's called Why I Last. Still haven't got a jingle. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore until someone gets us one. Okay, so the team have asked you a question, Lisa.
I'm prepared. I've been doing my homework.
That's quite a cool one. In fact, you might have answered it. This is from Angela Laverico. What is your favourite way to relax? With a non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably quite a dull one, but I am an absolute slave to my Kindle. I read voraciously. Is that the right word? I probably get through about 4 books a week.
4 books a week?
Yeah, 4 books a week. I will binge read. I'll go to bed, have my Kindle on, and I'll have a good 2 hours a night reading. I've even got myself a waterproof cover so I can sit in the hot tub, drink my alcohol-free fizz, read my Kindle, and it's the one time a day when I'm nobody expects anything of me. And other people will sit in front of the telly. My husband was away last week. I don't think after the kids went to bed the telly was not on. I'm not interested. I get overstimulated because I've got social media at me all day, and suddenly if I can sit there with my Kindle and I read I just binge read series, that's sort of crime stuff, Karen Slaughter at the moment, or
have you read
Jack Reacher, that sort of thing. I'll just go through crime stuff one after another, and I love it. It just relaxes me completely.
I'm reading the crime series that J.K. Rowling wrote.
No, I've not read any of those.
Is it Galbraith, John Galbraith, or Stephen Galbraith? That's who she came out as. If you like stuff like that, you love it. There was a you don't watch the telly. Well, I don't watch the telly, but I will put stuff on Netflix if I'm illustrating, like a series. There's a series called Strike. So have a look.
Strike.
There's a whole series about this detective, and
well, I think I'm just about finished Karen Slaughter. I haven't got any more that I can find, so I need a new series. So that's great.
And Alexa told us about that. She was like, "You have to read it. You have to read it," and I'm really enjoying that. So good. Lisa, what is next for Non-Toxicated?
Well, one of my aims this year was to get on a podcast. So that's great.
Yes,
that's one off the vision board. What I want to do this year is I want to get more visible with the brands and do a bit more. There's quite a lot of events going on around the country, so I'm really going to push myself out of my comfort zone and get out and about. I'm going down to Brighton for the Mindful Drinking Festival next weekend. Leanne's going to London to look at a low and no report that's coming out. So we're going to get out there and actually start networking in person with these people. It's like the virtual side, it's been great, but I really miss mixing with people. So getting out there, actually mixing with people. What I'd really like to do, well, there's a couple of things, is I'd like to have an awards event. I'd like us to have the first alcohol-free drinks awards voted for by the consumers, because there's all these like awards, but they're just given by a group of experts.
Like the companies who have like certain types of products would win.
Yeah, exactly. So vote for your favourite non-alcoholic gin, vote for your favourite soft drink, but voted for by people who buy them, not by somebody who's sitting there going, this is. So I'd love to do that. I don't know if it'll be this year, but that's something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something more with the members as well, with the committed members. I know, you launching your membership programs really made me think I need to look at that in more detail. But to do that, I think I'm going to need to partner up with a few other people. But more on the member side, more getting to meet people, and we would like to have our own awards. Yeah.
Watch this space. I'm over the moon that you said that about getting out and about, because I've realised more and more so that the events that we do, like last night and meeting people, it's pivotal to how we're growing. It's huge. You can't just sit and be, I mean, you go crazy, but some people do actually like being just but pushing yourself out and going out and about is massive for a business, like a brand and everything.
Well, I've always been quite a sociable person, like to mix, but literally over lockdown, when we started coming out of it, people were inviting me to things, and I didn't want to go because I'd got so used to being at my computer on my sofa, and I was quite happy. But then when I actually started going out and meeting people again, I thought, God, I've missed this.
Yes, I'm the same. I remember when we first went out and I just went, oh, it's a bit too peoply, this, like, I don't know if I'm a fan of this, but wow, was I wrong when I got out? I went, I have to do this, like, this huge part. And then
I've got 3 new Facebook friends this morning from people I met last night, and I don't let people into my Facebook that readily, but I've met some lovely ladies last night. So.
Oh, class. But it's been lush talking to you. I know we've said you fit. What's the name of your Facebook group?
So again, that's Non-Toxicated, the Alcohol-Free Drinks Club.
Yeah.
And the app is just Non-Toxicated.
And is that the best place for people? Where would you want them to go to find it?
I think if you're really interested in it and you want to be involved, join the group.
Yeah.
If you're sort of an occasional, I'd use this occasionally, I want some ideas for drinks, download the app. So both would be fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them all.
There's always somebody that you know needs a present or something like that that's alcohol free. Yeah, there's
Put
gifts
them all
on
in
there.
the notes as well. But thank you so much for joining us. Tick on
Thank
your
you.
list. You've done it. Podcast nailed. I'll see you in the next Level Lounge.
I will do. Have a great day.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.